Right, can you hear me? Alright, Simon. What? How is that a kind of emotion thing? Or supposed to be a surprise? Yeah, it does that sometimes. Alright then, pal, how's it going? Tender Stems, howdy all. Yeah, had a bit of free time, so I thought I'd do a live stream. Didn't really work the way I thought it was going to work with the voting, but yeah, one system, one game. The idea was I was going to play one game from one system, but I read it back after I posted it, and it just looked like one game from one system. Castlevania 4, evening Andy. This is a right game. This is. Yeah, Castlevania 4 seemed to catch my eye. Quite like the original on the original NES. So I've never played it before. Well, I have. I played it about 10 minutes ago just to get used to controls. But we thought I'd give it a go. So before we start, I'll just. I think we should be alright. It shouldn't be too busy, so I'll keep Robot Woman off. And I'll just try and keep up with comments myself. So just let me know if I sound okay. And all that jazz. Playing on Super Nintendo. Sorry, Super Famicom. With my EverDrive. My Super EverDrive. This is Castlevania 4. So let's get on. Let's get on with it. Option. I had a look earlier. There's no settings for difficulty. But it's Castlevania, isn't it? It can't be that hard. Enter my name. So anyway, Andy, that telly looks like an absolute monster, mate. I want a new telly. Playing Square Castlevania until last weekend. A lot of people think this is the best Castlevania. It's great, but only just in my top 5. Now, I'm not sure if I can collect that, because when it makes a funny noise. What does it do that? Nobody's bothered about knife, are they? Is there any hidden treasure at the top of this drawbridge? Should we have a go? Can we make the jump? Can we do it? Oh! Come on, lad, get up. No. Right, let me just put Robot One on, because I can't do it. I can't play and keep up with comments. Where is it? There we go. Just bear with me.
Grass says, "Hi robot."
There we go. That item gives you a chain whip rust. Ah, okay. I wasn't sure what it was doing, but you know. So I should be able to play now. Yeah, when I first got my NES, I got quite into. That's from that side, is it? I got quite into original Castlevania. It's balls hard though, you gotta admit. Yeah.
Simon Locke says, "I'm
Yeah, never played this one
determined to
before.
suck less at CV3." Simon Locke says, "Asterisk determined." 8-Bit Andy says, "This music is boss as fuck." 8-Bit Andy
Oh.
says,
It's definitely beatable, Simon. Punishing though.
What Castlevania 3 on NES? This ball's hard though, isn't it?
8-Bit Andy says,
Check
I
these
can no death run
blocks.
CV1 but have no chance of doing that on the third one.
Not bothered about that axe. Not sure what that does. Alright, whip on him now, isn't it? Oh, yeah, bastard.
Simon
Oh,
Locke
yeah.
says, put it this way. I have only recently discovered it's up and down to transverse stairs. I'd been using diagonals. Simon Locke says, so many unexplained deaths now make sense. 8-Bit Andy says,
Yeah, that can be harsh when you just walk off the edge and miss the stairs.
Yeah, I must admit, I mean... When you reach now, my whip. I've never played. Been a Sega fan. It's all new to me, Castlevania. They're a great series of games though, you gotta admit.
Steve O'Popper Wheelie says, yes Russ. Simon Locke says, yeah. 8-Bit Andy says,
Why does Simon sound like
Steve-O?
Barry? Why
Oh,
do I
it's
sound like
racing
he? Wee Herman.
Oh, you bastard. Get out of it. Congratulations, Reese, on passing your theory test. Sure it's you.
8-Bit Andy says,
The Mega Drive one is good, Russ.
Simon Locke says,
Is
it
that,
generates a
what's it
random
called, the Mega
picture
Drive?
for each person and it seems to be consistent.
What's this do here? Do I need that? I'm gonna keep it cross. I like cross. Bastard. What's this shit here? Expecting that. You can see them from ceiling. Right. Thought I could try and do it in one go.
Simon
Oh.
Locke says, I'd like to own Bloodlines but not at those rising prices. Majesco. Team Chav says, hello Russ mate, how's the stream going? 8-Bit Andy says,
It's called the
Evening,
New
Gav.
Generation in Poundland and Bloodlines. In the States.
Team Chav says, hi Simon, Andy.
Yeah, I have played it before.
8-Bit
Played on
Andy says,
Nomad.
Hello mate, how goes it?
Simon Locke says, is it new generation over here?
Saying. Wait, what's this horse's heads?
Simon Locke says, not seen it in the flesh. So not familiar with the regional name. Simon Locke says, hi Chris. Simon Locke
That's a
says,
high gav.
or is it Gav? 8-Bit Andy
No, it's Chris.
says,
Yes, New Generation here. My GF very generously bought me a minty one a couple of Christmases ago.
Team Chav says, it's Chris.
Oh, Chris and Gav, they always get confused. Oh, Medusas are back. Bloody hell, these give me some trouble.
Simon Locke says, nice Andy. Owner retro tip says, guess who's back in the motherfucking house? Russ with
Oh, I
asterisk
don't like
asterisk
that. Evening,
asterisk
Pete.
asterisk in your motherfucking mouth.
Very vocal.
Simon Locke says, evening Pete.
Oh.
Owner retro
Apparently,
tip
if you walk across
says,
those, you're alright.
hey Simon. 8-Bit Andy says,
Ha ha, Pete,
I'm
classic.
supposed to get. Oh, you bastard! How are you supposed to get past that? This is on a postcard. Oh, I've got a shitty whip now. Start again. That's to Medusa.
Owner retro tip says, hey Andy, hey Russ, alright cooker.
Alright. Oh, I'm dead again. Thought we were doing well.
Team Chav says, hey Pete Pet. 8-Bit
Pet.
Andy says,
Diagonal with the fucker Russ.
Owner retro tip says, all read pet.
Oh yeah, you've got diagonal. Haha! Oh, you bastard. I didn't want that, did I?
Eight-Bit Andy says,
How you doing, Pete?
Had a very good whip. Oh. Ah, that's how you do it. Diagonal whip. Weird. Keep thinking I'm playing this version.
Owner retro tip says, not bad. Work is crazy lately, so not much free time for JPeary. W Tech says, hey Andy, some Castlevania 8.
Oh no, it's boss time.
Owner retro tip says, how's the new place, Andy?
Oh! That's it, mister. It's down. Oh. Not the best, were it? It's crap you got that knife thing.
Brandonk76 says,
I was just playing this on the Wii U. Via the controller reminds me I need to hack my Wii U. Just to have a decent portable playability around the house.
8-Bit Andy says,
Yeah, I've been super busy moving house. All my gear is packed away. Nothing to play, fortunately.
Evening,
Hashtag Wii is filling the
Brandon
void.
X76.
Add a sneaker freak.
W
says,
Tech.
Pork and beans.
Pork and beans. Yeah, if anyone's got a Wii U for sale, a good friend of mine that works after one. I wanted a black one, but I suppose it
Owner
depends
retro
what's
tip
available.
says, what y'all saying, Steve? Eight-Bit Andy says,
Really good,
Nice
thanks,
got me.
Pete. Just about finished the renovations now.
8-Bit Andy says,
Sup W Tech.
add a sneaker freak says,
Weird levels, isn't it? Like how you can keep your whip out and whip it around. Like, way, way! Go on, lad. Sorry. Just impressed with that. What the bloody hell is this?
add a sneaker freak says,
Yes.
2 eggs in a hanky.
Brandonk76 says,
Hey Russ,
You're
thanks for
not.
info on Bang & Olufsen on Court FB. Chat, think I'm going to pick up.
Ah, somebody from the CRT collective, is it? No worries, mate. Always like to talk about B&Os. Although I am after a PVM or BVM.
Owner retro tip.
The next
Says,
pickup.
do it, Brandon. I got an MX-8000 recently. Couldn't be happier.
I want to do a comparison video actually. I know I've done a few before, but I want to do another one. Just comparing my 4000. Hey up. Is that the ground? Comparing my 4000 and 7000. Look at that. So keep a lookout for that. Be surprised at how many comments and questions I get.
8-Bit Andy says,
I badly want you to get a BVM, Russ.
Brandonk76 says,
Pretty exotic out here. PVM 2950 arriving via freight today, whoa lol.
Whereabouts in the world are you, Brandon? Zoom in over the pond. They seem to be a lot cheaper in America. Stupid prices. I mean, Andy will tell you prices.
Team Chav says, new channel
Absolutely
names
stupid.
for Team Chav Steve.
Oh, wait, what's it? No.
Brandonk76
So boy.
says,
This Bang & Olufsen is so strange.
8-Bit Andy
Oh,
says,
bloody frog.
My BVM is currently in storage until I can get the new room sorted.
Brandonk76 says,
Sacramento, California, USA.
Alcedonia
California.
150 says, Pixel Fighters. Owner Retro Tip says, Team Grease.
Oh, we're not doing. We're doing names. This could go.
Brandonk76 says,
Oh, we're dead.
No, I paid an arm and leg for the PVM. But then this Bang came into the picture.
8-Bit Andy says,
There's some Wally on eBay who wants 800 quid for his BVM.
I meant to tell you, Andy, earlier on. Did you see that one for £1,000? I don't know if he's took it off. I don't even think it's a BVM. I think it's just a PVM.
Brandonk76 says,
Proper
This game is worth playing just for the
crackers, some
music
of prices.
Brandonk76 says,
and sound effects.
Simon Locke says, thing is though, they're not getting any younger. The prices on some of them are just silly now. Owner Retro Tip says,
Oh, you-
RF Retro Fuckers.
These frogs here. Brutal. Never thought I'd said that about a frog before.
8-Bit Andy
Yeah, I think people are
says,
just.
Yeah, I saw that, Russ.
Yeah, they just.
Owner Retro Tip
They obviously know
says,
how much they go for
RGB,
and how
read big
popular they
gaze.
are. And they're just taking piss, aren't they?
Team Chav says, on Pete's Retro Tip. Owner Retro Tip says, fuck that doesn't work, ha ha ha. Owner Retro Tip says, hee hee hee. Brandonk76 says,
Oh yeah, there, goddamn dick you lose.
Going off. This boss. Give me a juice of that.
8-Bit Andy says,
Apparently, Simon BVMs can do up to 200. So with home use, he could be set for life.
Right. Oh, the skin on my teeth there. I didn't have the best weapon there, did I, with this dagger? Not much energy either. Just get an axe on job.
8-Bit Andy says,
But as with any of this old
Right.
tech, it can break.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if you spent £800 on a BVM on eBay,
Simon Locke
800 quid,
says,
or even that
"It's
£1,000
the lack
one,
of maintenance,
and it
mate.
breaks down.
Majority of these are being thrown up from storage, etc. Little to no testing."
So slow down there.
Eight-bit Andy says,
Yeah, very true.
It's
The
in
one I
there.
got was in some guy's home studio. I'm still terrified of it breaking.
Simon Locke says, "Confused face." Simon Locke says, "Powers on,
Yes.
£400.
I know when BBC closed, I think that's where a lot of them came from. You know, the BBC Centre. There we go. Oh,
Owner
keep
Retro
away from me.
says, "The 16-bit bits."
Oh! Get off.
Brandon76 says,
We all sound like little girls on this chat. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, I'll look to
8-bit
find a
Andy
way so I can just
says,
so
Meant
I
to
can
tell you,
just hear the
Simon.
voice.
I bottled it and didn't mess with my arcade machine. Monitor. Had it out earlier but didn't want to risk blowing myself up.
We're on stage 3.
Simon Locke says, "Hospitals are apparently a common source for the smaller ones."
I'm gonna have those drops too. Those water droplets.
8-bit Andy
Not risking
says,
Yeah, Retro Dave has a PVM that was ex-hospital.
it. Yeah, it did, didn't it? I remember a few years ago there were loads
says,
on eBay.
"Blowing myself
And I should have took my chances then and took one.
Brandon76 says,
Russ, you have good airflow in there. That is one impressive attic.
Good what? Airflow in there.
"8-bit Andy says,
Bloody hell.
LMAO Pete, it's all in the delivery, eh?
Brandon76 says,
There is something off-putting about having a monitor that was used for colonoscopies. I had one and sold it shortly after.
Yeah, I can imagine that. In a hospital environment, might be a bit weird, isn't it?
Simon Locke says, "As someone who's been zapped and thrown across the room, I do not blame you, Andy."
That's some nice goodies here.
8-bit Andy says,
Honestly, mate, your story put me off doing it.
"Owner Retro Tip says, what's the current shortlist for names? Chris, got any?"
Yeah, let's have a chat about Team Chav. I talked to my mates at work today, Chris and Gav, and I said to him, I said, if I said to you Team Chav, reference YouTube, what do you think the channel would be about? And he just said, like, would it be like comedy videos, a couple of chavs? I said, no. I said, no, it won't. It's like gaming. So I think it definitely needs to change.
Says,
Like the framing on your camera, Russ.
Oh,
Simon
cheers, Steve. I can
says,
adjust
"I've
it
not owned
slightly.
a court since Confused Face."
Is that better? There we go. Sorry, Steve. Should have thought about you with framing. Little Rockman. Look at 'em.
Mangoose on a unicycle says,
Evening all.
Oh, you bastard. Evening, Ben.
Owner retro tip. Says.
Just talking
I
about
say it
Team
sounds like
Chav
a game
names.
on channel. Not far off.
8-bit Andy. Says. I have 3 at the moment, but kind of want 1 more. Owner retro tip. Says.
Hey Ben.
Simon Locke. Says.
Call it the Zelda Collector and Mate.
8-bit Andy. Says. Sup Mongoose.
Zelda,
Simon Locke.
Zelda Collector
says,
and Mate.
Evening Mongoose.
Owner retro tip.
That's a good one,
says.
that.
Ha 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 Simon.
I just
Poor
need a
Gav.
freak. Says. Reminded me of some other tubers, but better now.
Can I kill that? No. Oh, you bastard. Nice. Oh, thought you were dead. Obviously not. Will you be coming to Doncaster, Ben? On Saturday?
Sega
Don't
Zombie.
away.
Says. Evening all. Owner retro tip.
Evening, Scott.
Says. Scott. Simon Locke. Says. Evening. Owner retro tip. Says. Is
Better
Chris
look to
even still
faith here.
here, FFS?
I don't know who's here. He's probably gone now. Well, that was good, wasn't it? So let's try that again, shall we?
DD123DD. Says. Hello. Owner retro tip.
Evening,
Says,
DD
hey.
123 DD. Oh,
Owner retro tip. Says.
CHRRIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIIII
yeah, I will be.
Mongoose
Paul
on
C.
AU cycle. Says. All good guys, I like the Tuesday stream, I'm free to watch
Oh,
not.
you
Going
bastard!
to Doncaster, Ross mate still in the doghouse from
Ah.
Leeds. Sega Socks. Says.
Who's that nerdy guy with the headset?
Adisnika Freak. Says.
I
Ha
don't
ha
know,
ha
is
ha ha, that was a pathetic swing. 8-bit Andy. Says. Is there another retro event up north this weekend, FFS?
there? Another one, yeah.
Owner retro tip.
It's where all the
Says.
action is.
Yeah, 2 weekends in a row FFS Andy.
2 in a row. I didn't go to Leeds though last week.
Owner retro tip. Says.
Hey Darren.
Simon Locke. Says.
Evening Darren.
Right. So another go, shall we? I'm sure my hand-to-eye coordination is getting worse.
Sega Socks. Says.
Hello Pete and everyone else.
Greetings! Oh shit. Can't that up. Ooh. Skin on my teeth.
Sega Socks says, just cooking my dinner in kitchen.
No, I don't want that.
8-Bit Andy says,
How are you finding the game, Russ?
Owner Retro
Oh.
Tip says, what are you having?
Yeah, I think you
8-Bit
jinxed me there, Andy.
Says,
It's no Sonic
Quite
2.
enjoying it, actually.
Simon Locke says, on the back
No,
of
it's
a
no
court.
Sonic 2, is it?
Sega Socks says, lol Simon.
Determined to get past that bit there. Surrounded by bats. Rockmen.
8-Bit Andy says,
Russ, when you're swinging with the whip, use up and down to change the height of your swing.
Up and down. Right, I want to use them left and right. I'll try that. Top tips.
Team Chav says, I'm back Pete
Oh, the
Pet
back.
lol. My iPhone playing up it says it has headphones connected. When it doesn't. Simon Locke says, if it makes you feel any better Russ, you're doing better than my last play on this. Team Chav says, we have a list a mile long, I will send you it and you can tell me what you think. Team Chav says, hello bandmate. Adisnika Freak says,
I've
we
said
swing
hello
both
bandmate
ways,
then.
Russ. Mongoose on a unicycle
Going both ways.
says,
Very good.
Have you played the Mega Drive Castlevania games, Russ?
Owner
I have, yeah. I
says,
was on about that earlier
okay,
on when I
Julio,
first started.
Chris Pett.
I've only, strangely though, the Castlevania one, I've only ever played it on my Nomad.
Sega Socks
I
says,
think it were
thought
Darren
you knew he
who
was by
recommended it.
Steve.
Oh, you bastard. Oh, you got me in a crouch position there.
Sega Socks says,
Right.
always
That.
cross-dressing on Snapchat.
I've not seen any of Steve's Snapchats. Is that right, Steve? Can you confirm that?
Owner Retro Tip says, welcome to the Biker Grove YouTube channel. Pet me eyes man.
What was that one I came up with last night? When we were talking to here, Chris. Oh, boom, Tetris for Jeff. Didn't you like that one? I think it's got a ring to it. At the minute, I'm
Tedeston
obsessed
says, Wagwan
with
chat.
Tetris World
Just popped up
Championships.
for me lunch. What did I miss?
I just completed the game, and I'm redoing it now.
Owner
Just try
Retro
and beat
Tip
the score.
says, hey Stephen. Eight-Bit Andy says,
Spoochie man, I've got
What's
some
in your
speed if you are
box?
interested.
What's in your box?
Owner Retro Tip says, ha 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 ha.
Right. I doubt I'll get past this bit because I've got nobody alive now.
Tenderstones says, Pete in Die House.
It's quite so far. Right then, let's have a look at this. Aha! Right, bloody
Owner
hell.
Retro Tip
Bloody hell.
says, you miss nothing, Breda, Grusby a wicked Rasmon.
Old Pete banging out some Rasta moves. Right. I don't know if that's. I got quite used to. Yeah. In fact, you can make yourself swing further, so that should work all right. Oh shit. Right. Oh, you! What knocked me off then? Bloody bat. Unbelievable, Jeff. Castlevania for there, isn't it?
Simon Locke says, I did buy Castlevania Symphony of the Night from PSN for my PS3 the other week. Managed to transfer my PS1 game save out from storage to resume my game, very convoluted. 8-Bit Andy says,
Skills.
Excuse me dying
8-Bit
or...
Andy says,
Cracking game at Simon. So old my copy a year or so back sadly.
Team Chav says, Retro Grove.
Retro Grove.
Simon Locke says,
You've nailed it.
During our first house move, less than. Brandonk76 says,
Retro
Impressive Simon Locke.
Grove.
Tenderstones says, I like the swing mechanic better in Ernest Evans.
I think you've nailed it there, Chris. Retro Grove. It's got to be on it. That makes perfect sense. Well, perfect sense if you've seen Back Grove. Oh, bloody hell, we're all over the shop here. Everyone's seen Back Grove, haven't they? No, we don't want that shitty dagger. Whoa!
8-Bit Andy says,
That's a bummer. Proper valuable now.
Right, what did I die before?
One
This,
Goose on a Cycle says,
I actually like Retro Grove.
waterfall, yeah. I love Retro Grove.
Team Chav says,
Boom Tetris for Jeff.
Boom, Tetris for Jeff. Yeah, I watched some more earlier on. I'm obsessed with it.
Simon Locke says, yeah, my chances of getting it again are slim and none. I had a retail but ex-rental copy. Was the non-limited edition one. Simon Locke says, normal PS1 style case, no extra CD. Brandonk76 says,
I was so bummed Ernest Evans wasn't released in States. Back in the day. Looks like an abomination but still want to play.
Owner Retro Tip says, Biker Brothers. Mongoose on
Oh,
AED
you
Cycle
stupid idiot.
says,
Just jumped
But
in
how many
water.
people will get the Baker Grove
Yeah,
reference?
Simon Locke says, bought it from Blockbuster when they closed our local branch. 8-Bit Andy says,
Oh no.
okay, yeah, I know the one.
Oh no, this is
I
not
had
good.
the art book and all that.
This is not good.
Needed the money though, so flogged it.
Simon Locke says, paid £25 for it in the late 90s.
Yeah, great.
Tenderstones says, Ernest Evans did come out in the States. I've got a loose cart of it.
Oh, it's brutal, this level. Oh my
Owner Retro
lord.
Tip says, I still
No.
like two crude dudes, Chris. Team Chav says,
Ooh retro retro.
Oh,
Ooh retro
that.
retro. Ooh retro grove.
Oh. You bastard.
Segasocks says, hashtag Justice
Yes.
Force Buggy. Owner Retro Tip says, ha 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 to the theme tune. Brandonk76 says,
Oh, I guess the CD version of Ernest.
Simon Locke says, I'd be happy to buy that one again though
Oh.
rather than the version, not at £70 a disc though. Eight-bit Andy
You must have
says,
got some
How much
names
does the
sorted
special
by
edition
now.
go for now?
Singo.
Simon Locke says, sold prices too, it's insane. Simon Locke says, £200, £300. Asadonia 150 says, lol Ernest Evan and its bizarre A controls. 8-bit Andy says,
Retro grove with the theme tune would be go channel name.
Team Chav says, it's good Pete. To be honest we have had loads of good 1s but nothing feels right. 8-bit Andy says,
Clap at Simon, I'll get it off PSN as well.
It's not turkey leg.
Mongoose on a unicycle says,
Retro 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 grove yeah ha ha ha.
Lactobacillus Prime says, evening. Simon Locke
Evening,
says,
Mark.
yeah, £6. 49 it cost me but worth it so
What?
long as you have a working PS3 or PSP Vita. Simon Locke
Oh.
says, hi Lacto. Owner Retro Tip says, hey Mark. Lactobacillus Prime says, hey Simon.
Oh, what was that?
Lactobacillus Prime says, hi Pete.
Shove me off that
8-bit
platform
Andy
then.
says,
Oh, I've not got
Only
to start
thing
all
is,
that again,
no
have we?
play.
Staffs Woodsman says,
If you notice this notice, you will notice that this notice is not worth noticing.
Team
Thought
Chav
doing well.
says,
Me eyes, me eyes.
8-bit Andy
Me eyes, me eyes.
says,
I like
Was
it.
thinking
That's
about
good.
getting
That.
the NTSC version, pretty cheap.
Segasocks says, breaking news. Gavin Chris caught up in Biker Grove sex scandal. Simon Locke says, you can output RGB from the PS3. Owner Retro Tip says, BJ and Duncan. 8-bit Andy says,
At this rate, one game, one system might have to change.
Team Chav says, tears of joy, tears of joy, tears of joy. Tenderstones says, I paid under a quid for Symphony of the Night at a local electronics recycler. 8-bit Andy says,
Didn't know that Simon. The co-ol be a goer if I can force it into 4 to 3.
Simon
There
Locke
we go.
says, lucky. Lactobacillus Prime says, my old PS3 can still use the old video lead. Works great with CRTs. Tenderstones says, very Simon. 8-bit Andy says,
Superb deal.
Tenderstones
Oh, he's back again.
says, I hate Castlevania though, lol. 8-bit Andy says,
What?
Simon Locke says, by default, it's PS1 resolution so yeah, 4:3 aspect ratio. Owner Retro Tip says, same, not a fan at all. Adisneaker Freak says,
Geordie Vania.
Mongoose on a unicycle
Oh.
says,
Let's get ready to retro.
Yeah.
Owner Retro Tip says, ha 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 ha. Simon Locke
It's
says,
probably that, innit? Let's
it'll
get rid of the retro.
component output too. Simon Locke says, I've tried both cables on it. 8-bit Andy says,
Even the first game, Pete.
Owner Retro Tip says, what's this wreck the SNES, Psyche? 8-bit Andy says,
Shit is badass.
Owner Retro Tip says, asterisk watch. Owner Retro Tip says, yeah Andy. 8-bit Andy says,
The BBM text component.
Tenderstones says, once you've played Ernest Evans, this just pales in comparison. Team Chav says,
Lee wants us to record Let's Get Ready to Retro.
Yeah, I think Let's Get Ready to Retro is pretty good.
Sega Socks says, watch
Oh,
us
you
drop the
bastard! You
mic.
got what?
Watch us drop the mic. Watch us drop the mic right.
Got
Lactobacillus
so many
Prime
suggestions
says,
here. I'm sure you can use
lol.
one of them. Literally hundreds of suggestions you can use.
Simon Locke says, I am happy I do not remember any of those lyrics.
I do.
Simon Locke says, so very happy. Owner Retro Tip says, let's get ready to retro is gay as fuck. Let's not kid ourselves. Ada Sneaker Freak says,
Russ Rage.
Rush Rage. No, I'm alright.
Eight-bit Andy says,
Retro Grove is better.
Retro Grove, yeah. You just have to put like Back of
8-bit
Grove into your
Andy
intro.
says,
But Let's Get
Make
Ready
sure
to
you
Retro is
show a
up
bit
there.
of a Newcastle accent.
Sega Socks says,
There we go.
hashtag Justice Force Buggy.
Justice what? Oh, Justice Force
Team
Buggy. I
Tab
thought
says,
you were saying
double jump,
Justice for
level
Buggy or
spec.
something.
Hammers Brothers and Retro Games rumor frontrunners.
Team Chav says,
Also Retro Saga.
Mongoose on a unicycle says,
They've got a list a mile long.
Video Game Dude says,
Hi
Need
Russ.
to pick one now. Evening, video game dude. Just playing a bit of Castlevania 4. The old SNES. I'll tell you, this is actually on the Super Famicom, so that's why you got the old 60 Hz full screen. Right. Bloody fish minute. Oh, so that's what they can do then. They can shoot water at you, can they?
Sega Socks says,
Bastards.
Retro Game Room.
Down there.
Go long were you thinking that 1-up-4, lol. Team Chav says, Ben gave us loads at Leeds. Ada Sneaker Freak
Bastard.
says,
Oh,
Peter
it's going
Beardsley's
wrong. It's
Retro
gonna go.
Adventures.
Jason Allison says, Hiya
Oh,
Russ.
bugged it now then, haven't I? What am I doing now? Oh, like that.
Team Chav
Evening,
says,
Jason.
It's the clickbait socks.
But do you really want retro in the title? I thought you agreed that you
Tenderstones
didn't want retro.
says, hot tip, if you like Castlevania, you'll love Ernest Evans.
Love what? Ernest Evans. What is Ernest? I keep hearing this Ernest Evans. Look at that. Jason, are you still coming to Doncaster on
Sega Socks
this
Yes.
Saturday?
You don't need clickbait if
Yeah.
you just use the top of the bar images or your thumbnails. Owner Retro Tip says, instead of C*VG, you could be C and GB, Chris and Gab vids. Sega Socks says, Chris sells seats. Tenderstones.
Oh, you bastard!
Gem Russ.
Piss!
Owner Retro Tip
Oh,
says, instead of C and VG I meant. Tenderstoms says, it's on a Mega
I'm gonna
Drive.
battle here. Grab it, man, grab it.
Adisneaker Freak says, Tube State Gaming. Adisneaker Freak says, Pork Sword Retro.
No, Steve, I
Jason
think they want to
Allison
drop retro.
Says, yes, he'll be there, Russ. Simon Locke
Ooh.
looks like it had a Sega CD outing to
Oh.
Tenderstoms. Sega Socks says, has anyone suggested gay gamers? Lol. Owner Retro Tip
Gay
says,
gamers.
here's a pimp ass channel
get
name,
that.
2 dicks and no chicks.
I'm gonna get it.
Find
There we
yourself
go.
in serious shit.
Oh, yes. Oh, I'm like Indiana Jones now. Oh, shit.
Team Chav says,
Shit.
surely it's gay gamers. Tenderstoms says,
Gay
It
gamers.
did. Simon. Japan only though, I think. It's an anime over there. So it has an
It's only
animated
ours.
intro and CD music.
Sega Socks
Oh, it's
says,
getting
too
tricky
much
now.
gav. Lol.
Let's get rid of that. Come on. Down here. And again.
Tenderstoms says,
Who's changing their channel name?
Team Chav.
Simon Locke says, looks like a Sega CD-ROM has found its way onto the internet.
Oh,
Not
you
sure if it's a
bastard.
fan hack though. Owner Retro Tip says, butt buddies. Sega Socks says, back end boys. Owner Retro Tip
Back.
says, Team Chavar.
Back end
Steven.
boys.
Simon Locke says, would like to multi-region bios my Mega CD. Owner Retro Tip says, ha 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 ha. Tenderstoms
Get it?
says,
What's wrong with Team Chav?
Owner Retro Tip says,
Too
the
chavvy.
Rusty Sheriff's badges. Owner Retro Tip says, too cunty.
Too
Sega
cunty.
Socks says, you should just call it Sexy Chris and Gav can just move out of the shot. Simon Locke says, I
you
said the
bastard.
Zelda collector and mate, but it's being glossed over for innuendo. Adisneaker Freak says, ass badges.
What about wanna play two player? As in, I'll spell it out to you. Wanna play two player.
Acidonia 150 says,
The Mega Drive version is missing cut scenes of Ernest Evans.
that are in the Mega CD version that the only
Who's bloody?
difference
Who's Ernest Evans?
says,
Want it
Ernest
to
goes
play.
camping. Now that's not
Owner
Ernest I
Retro
know.
Tip says, too unlimited. Brass says,
Play.
Team Chav says, I love it, Simon.
Oh shit.
Tenderstoms says,
How about this name, Rom on the Time?
Yes. Yes. Can we get up there?
Sega
Oh,
Socks
you stupid
says,
idiot!
wow, the delay is intense. I read that ages ago. 8-Bit Andy says, vlog on the time. Team Chav says, no, 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 there's no limit, Pete. Simon Locke says, here's one third-party controller. Tenderstoms says,
Vlog on the Time is nice too.
Team Chav
Come on,
says,
grab it.
that is awesome, Tenderstoms.
Grab it. Grab it. Come on.
Owner Retro Tip says,
Yeah, that is awesome.
Yes. Oh, you bastard. Come on. Yes. Right. He's having it this time. And the problem is,
Segasox says, there's
Getting
no
over there,
limit,
isn't it?
just
Problem.
reach for the sky, no valley too deep. No mountain too high. Ada Sneaker Freak says, 8-bit Bukkake boys.
yeah, it's doing me head in this part, proper, big time. Gross Rage. Hashtag. Get it trending. Give me that bloody thing there.
Team Chav says, I don't know what's worse though. Being called a Chav or a Geordie.
Which would you prefer?
Simon Locke says, Geordie.
I won't like to be called a chav.
Simon Locke says, Gruss Rage. Tenderstones says,
Ernest Evans would never do dirty like this.
Simon Locke says, hashtag Grossrage. Segasox says, gaming
Grossrage.
bandits.
We're not going to pick a name.
Segasox
This will be
says,
going on for months.
Ernest Evans for life.
I still don't know who bloody Ernest Evans is. I've got a shit whip as well.
Owner Retro Tip says,
I will say though, I think the name change is a good move. When I first saw your channel, I did think, are these cunts chavs? And it put me off at first.
Owner Retro Tip
Yeah, put me
says,
off as well.
Then
Not
I
for
realised you weren't
months.
chavs, just cunts.
Simon Locke says, H-A-H-A-H-A.
It's like, oh, this. Oh, finally. Oh, just die now on fucking stairs, won't I?
Segasox says,
Bastard.
Ernest Evans is the man who
Bat
invented the
things.
teaspoon. Mongoose on a unicycle says, Geordie and proud right here.
They're having it. They're having it. Turkey leg.
Segasox says, I was put off until I seen Sexy Chris.
Sexy Chris. Sexy Chris indeed. Oh god, we're going up in the world. What's happening here then? What is going on? It's bosses there. That's just great. They'll be firing shit at me in a minute. Oh, we'll just drown, shall we?
Owner Retro Tip says,
The first Team Chav video I ever watched was the best wank I ever had. Put the tissue in my scrapbook.
Acidonia 150 says,
Ernest
There we
Evans
go.
looked like Terry Bogard.
Segasox
Still
says,
don't know what
lol
this
P.
is. At least I broke up a boring, mundane Tuesday night. Still need to pick a name though for the The team. Oh, you bastard! Oh, I'm fucked it now, aren't I? Have to go back. Nope. Oh, those blocks respawn. Have they? Oh, they chuff. Oh, they have. I don't think they have. Keep forgetting to press up. We're going upstairs. Bang, 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 bang. Really, I need a special weapon. Chuck at that if I ever get to that boss. Not that I will, because this bastard were a right twat.
Team Chav says, the sperm donors.
You see, Chris, even you can't take it serious now. You need to be serious about this this name change.
Says, tissue fillers.
Tissue fillers. Bastardo!
Segasox
Shut
says,
off.
Jesus and Pete said the name change was a good idea. Mongoose on a unicycle says, I tend to have my best dance to Team Chav. It's Pete, mate. I'll have to try a wank next time though.
Right.
Owner Retro Tip says, the skunk rags.
It's going to be super aggressive with this boss.
Segasox
Hope
says,
for best.
the spunk bucket. Tenderstoms says, bucket fillers when I'm watching them.
Go on, you bastard. Oh, shh. No, that didn't work, did it? Can we hide? Can we hide under here? Oh, terrible slowdown. Can't hardly control it, there's that much slowdown.
Team Chav says, Ross came up with fudge pipe snorters.
Now, I told you, Steve texted me that. Push pipe snorters. Oh, you bastard! Oh. Well, I think we gave it a good go there. We really did give it a good go. And I've got a repetitive strain injury like a bitch in my left hand. Was it going to start me if I press continue? Caves. Oh shit.
Jason Allison says, Chris does Gav. Tenderstoms says, you don't get this kind
Chris
of
does
slowdown,
Gav.
Ernest Evans.
Who's fucking Ernest Evans? Crystal's
Segasox
Gav. I think that's a good
says,
one, that.
That what you get with
Or is it Gav does
Nintendo
Chris?
Russ lol. James chapter 76 says, Collectors Unite Nintendo Team Squad.
Oh my god. James 76, evening.
Segasox says, not good enough, Ernest Evans playthrough right now. Owner Retro Tip says, Chris does Gav, I like it.
Crystal's Gav.
Simon Locke says, to be honest, it's probably on your Mega EverDrive, Russ.
I like to think it's the Super Nintendo, Simon. Never have this problem on my Mega Drive. Oh, sorry. Oh, I thought you were talking about slowdown. You mean the game? What Ernest? This Ernest game. You see, if I had this cross, I reckon I could beat that boss.
Team Chav says that series of videos is already on Pornhub.
Oh,
Owner
slow down
Retrotip
again.
says frantically opens Pornhub. Simon Locke says, yeah, Ernest is
Dead.
Evans. Segasox
That's dead.
says, it is wrong to pirate Ernest Evans, he deserves better. Tenderstones says, Ernest goes bananas.
Ernest goes camping. I've heard of that one.
Kevin Wolford 123 says, hello everyone, smiley face. Owner Retrotip
Evening, Kev.
says,
Oh,
hey Kevin.
died, Kev. I've lost me bastard cross now. Oh, we've got it back. There we go. Just playing a bit of Castlevania 4, Kev. She probably worked out.
Segasox says, Ernest goes everywhere. Amiga Old School says, Ernest is Debbie. Simon Locke says, just reading about Ernest Evans.
Good
It's a
old
bloody
Ernest.
Wolfenstein game. Might actually have to play it. Owner Retrotip says, I have a great channel
I still
name,
don't know who
Newcastle
this
of Illusion.
Ernest is. Newcastle of Illusion.
Team Chav says, hello
That's,
Kev mate.
that's pretty good, that.
Owner Retrotip says, hi Adam.
Newcastle of Illusion.
Says, that's a good one, Pete. Tenderstones says, Pete, that's perfect. Simon Locke says, I like the Pete. Amiga Old School says, Easy Pete all. James Chapter 76 says, why there candelabras everywhere. Segasox says, hashtag Justice Force Buggy. Team Chav says, love it Pete, but again it's too Geordie and that's worse. Then Chavlon.
What do you mean to Geordie? Giona.
Amiga Old School says, who is Ernest?
What the hell, what do you want? Yeah, I keep saying this out of myself. Who the hell is Ernest? Why have I got that shitty dagger now? Oh, you bastard. Piss off. Oh, fuck off. Oh. Right. Drop the dagger. The cross. Leave me with the cross. Don't pick the shitty dagger up. Apologies for swearing. Too much if in.
Simon Locke says, that's Mr. Evans, Adam. Tenderstones says, McDonald's Treasure Sunderland Adventure. Team Chav says, we not fucking Geordie's man.
You're not fucking George.
Team
You
Chav
are.
says, OET. Team Chav says, pet. Simon Locke
Pet.
says, well, not with an attitude like that, Chris.
What about retro pets? Retro pets? I mean, Gav can't even say retro. Retro. Welcome
Fantasy
to
TV
another retro
says,
saga.
Jimmy nailed
With
it,
me,
Roo.
Gav.
Segasox says,
Krista's
Ernest
Gav.
Evans was the first man to fly a kite. Owner Retrotip says, how about the fussy pricks then? Tears of joy. Segasox says, lol Steve.
Right. I don't know where I got that shitty dagger from, but I don't want it again. I want to keep all of this.
Amiga Old School said,
bad boy.
Got a yeah Simon out of the loop with the Mega Drive.
Feel up. Oh, you bastard.
Tenderstones says,
Yoshi's Sunderland.
James chapter 76 says,
I like Don Air.
Owner Retro says,
Where are you lads from again, pet?
Simon Locke
Head.
says, I know as much as you do,
Newcastle.
Adam. Owner Retro says,
Don Air looks like Skeletor these days.
Right.
Amiga Old School says, Donna A was fit Biker Grove.
Don't know in Backer Grove. Shit. Piss off. Piss off, frogs. On it, mode. You fucking. Oh! Well, I've bugged it now, and I've lost my bastarding cross.
Sega Socks says, Auf Wiedersehen gamers.
Must be 3 blocks then, I'm jumping too early. Yes.
Ada Sneaker Freak
Take
says,
that.
Haha, was just hoping that. Team Chav says, Durham.
Come on now. Cheap shot. Absolute cheap shot. Can that turkey leg? Piss off.
Sega Socks says, Durham is full of Geordies.
Oh, I've got that stupid dagger again. No use, no ornament. Bastard eyes back. Here we go. With frogmen spitting at me. Yes. Oh, I could just jump into water. Oh. I had a good go. Right then, I think I'll leave it there, lads. It's been emotional. Have we come to any conclusions with these this Team
Ada
Chav
Sneaker
name?
Freak says, Russ Rage.
Russ Rage indeed. I need a cup of tea, Steve. I need a cup of tea. Let's sit down.
Simon Locke says, hashtag Russ Rage. Ada Sneaker Freak
Durham
says,
Divies.
Durham Divies. Owner Retro
2 guys.
says, 2 guys 1 cup.
Newcastle of Illusion.
Sega
That was
Socks
good.
says, might be the producer coming over the headset. Team Chav says, Pornhub again, Pete.
Plenty of Pornhub. Is that it? Are we done? Or should we play something else? I don't know. I don't know what to do. What time is it? 9:15. I don't know. Could do with a cup of tea.
Team Chav says, yeah, I liked Newcastle of Illusion. Sega Socks says, that's the best you're getting. Owner Retro says,
Play something else, pet.
Tenderstones says,
Ernest Evans.
Ernest Evans. It's not even a... Oh. Is it on SNES? You're making it up now.
Segasox
Ernest Evans.
says, live call your mum and announce you're bisexual.
What?
Owner Retrotip says, oh god, do that.
No, I'm not bisexual. Trans. Barbie Supermodel. Barbie Vacation Adventure. Barclay Shut Up and Jam. I never played SNES. Should do really. Casper, there's some shit games on here. Should we skip Castlevania 4 and go straight to 5?
Simon Locke
Mega Drive.
says,
Nobody likes
Genesis
SNES, do they?
Mega Drive.
Oh, you mean for Ernest Evans? Maybe I'll bit on then. Ernest Evans.
Segasox says, transgender.
Transgender, yeah. Ernest. What the hell is Ernest Evans?
Amiga Old School says, Super Turrican.
Wolf Team. Here we go. Is that Ernest? I
Simon
think
Locke
it's like a Castlevania.
From what I've been seeing, Ernest doesn't look far off Turrican. Tenderstones says,
Get ready, lads. Get ready to burn your Castlevania collections.
Owner Retrotip
Ernest
says,
Evans.
was playing Turrican 2 on Amiga this weekend. Fuck me, that sounds good through the B&O.
Oh my god, it's Castlevania. Some dodgy gravity jump though.
Segasox says, best game ever.
Ah! Can't get through it. It's a win. Oh, hey up, hey up. Bloody hell. Hey up, hey up.
Segasox says, looking good, Ernest.
I've never played this before in my
Segasox
life.
says, Turrican and Ernest
Oh, those
Evans.
Rejogs.
Amiga Old School says, indeed, P1 Game 1 have the discs out of the box too. Load and just hear that sound winking face. Segasox says, prepare for a surprise. Tenderstones says,
Eat shit GIATN worms.
Mongoose on a unicycle says, Ernest has a sweet mullet.
Oh, what's this lad doing here?
Amiga Old School says, and this Ernest
Oh,
Evans
I'm dead.
part 2 or something. Add a sneaker free
Oh no.
says,
Oh,
oh
to
fuck,
sleep.
this is the game with the ragdoll man.
What's he doing? No, I think I prefer Castlevania.
Amiga Old School
Ernest!
said, was Ernest out of the Big Bird show?
What's he doing? Where's Lynn's?
Amiga Old School says,
Can I change?
Sesame Street. Segasox says, sleeping on the job.
Oh!
Tenderstones says,
You took a sleeping potion. That's some real word shit you'd never see in Castlevania.
God, that were about
Segasox
ages ago.
says, You must
that's
be
delayed
drunk,
for you.
Russ.
Oh shit.
Owner Retro Tip says, play some Granada Rush Chickens. Simon Locke says, this is like Parodius, isn't it? Parody of Castlevania, Metroid. Sega Socks says, this one game of the year, 5 years running.
No, it didn't. Am I supposed to? Ah. Oh, I'm dead. Well, that's the worst game ever. I think I'm supposed to hook onto those hooks. But, yeah, it won't happen, will it? Yeah. So that is Ernest. Formerly known as Ernest Goes Camping. Right, what did you say then, Pete? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, 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 G. Green dog, did you say?
Adismika Freak
No, it's a green dog,
says,
did you?
this is a pile of stinking shizer. Sega Socks says, box quote, better than Mario 64. Owner Retro Tip says, das ISTSCHEIZE.
This was quite good. I
Simon
played
Locke
this all week.
says, I'd probably prefer this to Mario 64. Simon Locke says, easily. Owner Retro Tip says, Granada. Sega Socks says, Wolf Team Rule.
Right, Wolf Team that did Wolf Child. Shit. Oh my god, I'm surrounded.
Tenderstons
Jesus Christ,
says,
I'm wondering.
Ernest Evans, as if you consider it was made by a team of wolves.
Tenderstons says,
Asterisk great.
Owner Retro Tip says, I do love this game.
Yeah. It took me a few attempts the other day to get past this first level, but I got quite into it actually.
Amiga Old School says,
Let's blow
Cool.
these shitty factories up.
Tenderstons
Oh, you
says,
bastard.
Wolfchild is JVC, I think.
Sega Socks says,
Moving
no,
right
it's
along.
core design. Amiga Old School
Core, yeah, that's it.
says, Sega CDJVC Amiga core design.
Not today. Look at that factory. Need some life. They can salt it down. Shite.
Sega Socks says, think JVC were just the publisher.
There's some action around here, isn't there? Right, let's go behind them.
Amiga Old School
I don't know. I'm,
says,
I'm
Both
still
on the word
alive,
on the
to be
court on
fair.
ABC as Sega Socks said publisher.
There we go, we're dead. Oh, I'm alive. Christ. Swarm City. Tell you what, I've got that extra weapon. No, no, totally forgot about. Boom.
Segasoft
Cannon.
says, could never get into
There we go.
Wolfchild myself.
Tenner from Dixon's still got original receipt for Wolfchild.
Amiga Old School says, great
Silly.
game imp the CD ports level 2 Muisk just wow. Owner Retro Tip says, you can use those things following you to ricochet bullets.
Ah, you can shoot them out, can you? Right.
Simon Locke says, I've been unlucky with trying to get Wolfchild. Jason Allison says, Comic Zone. Simon Locke says, local shop had it. Was in the process of buying it and found the
Comic
disc
Zone.
was bloody missing. Amiga Old School says, Wolfprint hee. Owner Retro Tip says, shoot round corners with them. Amiga Old School says, Wolfborn hee.
Oh,
Amiga Old School says, Oxmist Reed.
boom. 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 Oh my god, they're all coming after me now. Big lad here. What's left here?
Amiga
Oh.
Old School says, got
Oh, it's getting
Wolfchild
older.
in Playman for £6 a few years back.
Right. I'm gonna have to go. We'll have to go and eat toilet and
Amiga
need
Old
a cup of
School
tea.
says,
Safe
on
9.
Mega CD. Owner Retro Tip says,
Wolfchild.
shoot round the
in
corner with
play
your
for
little
£6
thingy, Russ.
A few years back. Shoot around the corner. I'll have to have another. I might have a go with stick actually with that because it's a bit awkward with pad. Yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Been a good do. And whoever's going to Donny on Saturday, be sure to say hello. Come and say hello. Should be good. I'll be selling pixel art with Matt and Big Daddy C, Paul C. A few regulars going, Team Chav, Lee, Retro Gamer Addict, my mate Ellis, my mate from work, he's going. Who else is going? 2UK is selling. I don't think anyone else is selling that we know.
Amiga Old School
Yeah,
says,
just
"Nice
regulars,
one, Russ,
really.
night
Just
all."
regulars.
Owner Retro Tip says, thanks Russ, night guys.
No worries, Pete. No worries. Thanks for joining us, mate. And thanks everyone else. And hopefully we can get this Team Chav name sorted out, can't we? Before end of the year, possibly. Right, I'm going. See you later on.